22 for each
Each
of
of
us.
us, yeah.
5.
Yep.
So if you want to decide amongst yourselves, and I'll take what's left, what pages you're gonna cover with the bailout. Now, when you get those done and the manila envelopes addressed, then bring them back to me in October, at our October meeting. And I will see that they get mailed out. So you've got a whole month to do that.
Problem.
This is something that you agree to. Yeah, no, I need back. Is that the only constant? And I gave a copy of that to the captain. Okay. And also one, I believe, to the board of selection.
Okay.
So it's not as though there was other places you can get that, but that's what we wrote. Okay, so if everybody's got the directions, then all we need to do is decide how many. Now, you can just count off. You can do 22 and the next guy can do another 22, or you could decide on pages, because unfortunately,
Should we start the meeting? This is business, right?
well, this is directions.
Oh, okay,
I don't think Whitney needs to write
Okay.
this down, but we'll start it in a moment.
okay,
I just want to make sure that everybody understands what
Yeah.
they need to do.
Yes.
So, and we decide before the end of the meeting. So I thought we'd get this out of the way first, and then we do the meeting, because the meeting doesn't have very much.
okay. So I got the list here. As far as addresses, I'm trying to think. Where would we find the addresses? We just have to.
I've sent them to you.
Oh, okay,
The town maintains an alphabetical listing of all the property owners. These are not alphabetical, these are by map. So what you're gonna have to do is to scan through that list.
Yep.
To find the names on the sections that you decide that you want to mail. Make your, envelopes to.
okay, you send us a list of the addresses.
I sent it to you.
Okay, I have it then, I just, you know.
And which table is this we're working off, Jerry?
What?
Which table are we working off? Is it table 11?
Where it says highest ranked,
Oh, up
table
here.
is this thing, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take I'll take this page, the first page and
Well,
which is
yeah,
half
just
an,
count off 22 and tell us where you stop.
well, I can do more than 22.
But you only got to do 22 because that's.
That's all I got.
And that's all you got. I don't want to overburden
Okay.
anybody, but I want
Okay.
everybody to get
All
their
right.
share.
Okay, so 22 is,
Takes you through the Dalton Reebok Trust. Map 9, block 49. I counted right. Working off the same list, Lee?
yeah, I've got. Is it, yeah, this is, if this is the begin, I've got from the beginning Hill Point Farms
Right.
to David Stewart. That's 22.
Davis. Oh,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's right.
Stewart?
So Dave
Yeah.
Stewart is 22.
And I must have a different document. I counted further along. I got through Stewart, then I went on to page 2.
Wait,
It's off this, Jerry. Oh, you get the same one?
I don't know. I mean, I'm
Did you get,
highest ranked habitat.
did you get this letter here? We just go, oh, no, right there, right there.
Oh, okay, I'm
that's
sorry.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out of the
okay,
file.
I
sorry.
knew,
Oh, and
no,
those things on top, somebody gave them to me. That's the listing of the shows that are being done in the
Oh, yeah,
Mascoma
yeah.
High Schools.
I'm sorry, guys. I was looking at an old database. Sorry.
okay, so I got my 22.
All right.
Okay, so fine,
That's
fine.
gonna be all done by Lee. So which ones do you want to do, Jay?
I'll do the next 22. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The next page, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. If I count right, that brings me to map 11, 22, 21, road frontage alpha.
May not find that one.
That's,
I'll take the next 22.
Okay. you'll go to map
Uh,
14, proof, Keith. Klug.
Keith, Blue, yep.
And then Shirley and I will take the rest of it.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
so Let me know if you have any problems with that list. I went through it and I found my name, Shirley's name, everybody else's name that I knew on the property listed there. So there shouldn't be any problem. Difficulty, of course, is that the town does not keep property maps, the property names up to date all the time. And the turnover of property here is high enough that sometimes what they have on their list is not the accurate one. And Mrs. Julie Huntley doesn't update the whole list any one time. She just crosses out the people who were there before and puts in the new owner. So there may be some that we have a problem locating.
Finding an address?
Finding
An accurate
or an
address.
accurate address.
Okay.
Because that list is just the names and addresses. It doesn't correspond with the map numbers and property or lot numbers that ours does. And those are on yet another different list. And if there's a problem with getting these from the list that she sent me, I'll go and get a list that lists the property by map and lot. Then we can cross-reference that too.
So you sent us that, it was like an Excel spreadsheet?
No, it's a PDF file and you can just scan through it.
Okay,
It doesn't have to be opened up. It's 84 pages, so I didn't bother to print.
no, I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I saved it. If I can't find it, I'll just reach out to you and you can resend it to me.
Oh, yeah, I kept it.
Okay, that's fine. Not a problem.
All right, so everybody is
Okay.
aware of what they're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna call meeting to order at 7:06 or so. And the first order of business is to record the people that are here. Shirley called me and said she wasn't coming, so Doug, Leah, Jay, myself, and we have a guest, Mr. Kurt Gotthard.
Hi, Kurt.
Welcome back, Kurt.
Want to join the Conservation Commission? You don't. Okay. You must be retired. Okay, so the next item of business is the minutes from the August 4th meeting. That was a joint meeting between the Enfield and the Canaan Conservation Commissions. Do any of you have any corrections on those minutes?
Thought it looked fine to me.
I wasn't here.
It was a good meeting.
Yes.
We missed you too.
I'm sorry, I missed Canaan.
Good
That
folks.
Shuri is quite a gal.
Yeah, they were good folks. It was a good meeting.
I watched it on YouTube, thought it was informative.
So you could gain access. You're one of the few. I never see anybody from the public ever coming on the screen.
Well, I don't come on the screen, I watch it on YouTube.
The
Because the town
recording.
has a,
Oh, the recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
the town has a
People
recording.
have tried to get on this before and they couldn't. So,
I've had great luck getting on, because I watched all the ones in August, July. On
so we're
YouTube.
on YouTube, huh? I didn't
You're on,
realize
you're
that.
a star on YouTube.
Yes, star. Thing I heard from Mrs. Bonnet, that they don't record the the auditory portion.
No, there's audio.
I listen
Very
to the
fair.
planning board.
She told me that when I was recording that they didn't record voices from this meeting.
Yeah, that's what this is. The owl will do, that it kind of jumps around based on who's talking,
Oh.
and will record.
It looks
All
like
the way
right now.
I have
Yeah.
not seen it prior to July.
Yeah,
Did we just start doing that?
yeah, it was
That's what I thought.
relatively new that we started
Right,
doing that.
so I've seen July through now.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 4th meeting?
I will make a motion to approve those minutes.
On second.
We're here.
Second motion, is it great?
I think the person has to be here to qualify as being, they can't be, because you weren't a member of the Conservation Commission, then, were you?
Yes, I was. Remember, I missed the meeting.
Okay, you're
I
right.
was a standing
Okay.
member.
Can they,
I don't think you have to have been here to second
all
it.
right, move to second to approve the meeting minutes of August 4th. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Done. Okay, so wanted to just let you know that because of the delay in the publication of those materials that we're going to be mailing out, the Nolan copy people reduced the price that we had approved of $151 to $131.
Nice.
And that has been covered by an anonymous donor. So there'll be no charge to the Conservation Commission.
That's very nice. Very nice.
Okay, the next thing I wanted to bring to your attention was a notice that you probably have all seen, but it was sent out to all the people about a voluntary water use restriction effective immediately because of the drought. And I think we have discussed in our natural resources inventory and in what we're sending out to the public now, the importance of water to this community because everybody relies upon well water. And the fact that the carrying capacity of the community could be overwhelmed if it's overdeveloped. So we have that as a proof of what's going on. Also, the fact that the McConnell well is not usable in any large extent. And it's the most productive well because it's got too much alpha radiation in it and the EPA says you've got to dilute it. So okay, the fourth
Can I just
item,
make a comment here?
yeah,
As a close neighbor to Grafton Pond, I noticed that they are dumping Grafton Pond right now. I'm concerned that they're doing it against our best interest, for the interest of Lebanon. Right now, Bicknell Brook is quite high, even though we've had very little rain. And we're harming the habitat out there. That's a high loon production area. Last year, they took it down to almost nothing.
Yeah, I know, I remember. I couldn't.
It
was
was for
ridiculous.
dam, it was, some of it was for
Ridiculous,
the
you know,
dam.
that They
That
took it
was-
down.
do repair of the dam.
Well, but why are they dropping it this year?
Every year in, I'm
Much
told-
later, they drop it down for
Yeah.
snow.
That's right, but they also drain it down in, for example, Crystal Lake is taken down in October.
Right.
So is Mascoma Lake. Those drainages are not under the community's purvey, they're under the state's purvey. So, if you want to, write me a letter, I belong to the board of directors of the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions. And I'm also on the legislative group. I can bring this complaint to their attention. And if they see fit, they can take it to the legislature and ask them to delay the dropping of those or find out why they were dropping Grafton Pond this early in the season.
That would be a good thing to know, because other people have asked.
I mean, everybody in my neighborhood is noticing that Bicknell Brook is quite full right now. And we haven't had enough rain.
No, I did notice that too. I did, yeah.
We have not had enough rain to make Bicknell Brook slow that fast. I walk my dogs down there every day, so I see it, so.
The other situation, of course, is that with the fast moving water in the stream, there's more erosion. And one of the things that are damaging to lakes is silting. So silt washing into Crystal Lake and that silt being carried into Mascoma Lake. And we have here in the Enfield a succession of the way lakes go. You know, they start out as lakes and then they get to ponds and then they get to marshes and then they get to climax vegetation. We have all of those examples right here. It takes thousands of years, it's longer than anybody's lifetime, so people don't realize it, but the succession is clearly evident in the infield community. So do make that point in the letter you send me, and I'll see that it gets to the New Hampshire Association.
This really ties into it. You guys must have read in the paper about Lebanon's plan to dig a deep well instead of drawing water from a river or lake.
Yes.
Yeah. What are
I
your
know
thoughts
that
on
they're-
that?
I know that they are discussing the idea of abandoning Mascoma Lake
Right.
as their water source.
Right.
Part of it is maybe associated with the pollution problem
Right.
that Mascoma Lake or Mascoma River has. I've got to go down to the sewer processing plant and also where they pull their water out of Mascoma Lake. My thinking is that they could use the Connecticut River because it flows right past, if they could get the rights to it.
Somebody says that this aquifer's got a lot of water though, what they're looking at. It's in West Lab, I think.
Well, that may be
The
so.
deep that's what somebody that checked it out said the flow was.
But they have to be mindful of the fact that until they've actually drilled and tapped it,
Yeah.
they can't be sure that the water, like the McConnell well, isn't
I
contaminated
know.
with radiation to the point where they can't use it. So,
Okay, I was
And I
just wondering,
talked
yeah, I read about it. It sounded interesting. And I was wondering with the reasoning for it. I think the pollution is probably one of them. Yeah.
Well, the Connecticut from Hanover down, even though it's much cleaner, it's got a lot of medical waste in the silt. It has a lot of heavy metals in the silt, paper plants that existed in Wilder. So there's a lot of
oh, sure.
potential for
Concerns,
pollution there.
yeah. Concerns, yeah.
So every time the dam lets out, we have high flows, that stirs up that silt and
Yeah.
A lot of that in Mascoma Lake too, from the old cotton, out of the old woolen mills. So they're-
And the cannery, they had a cannery, that was cans.
All right.
Okay, so, the next item of business is the Dan Reagan's, application for a dredge and fill wetland permit. And, originally, the permit was returned for it being administratively incomplete. Since then, the Bonn and Architecture people have, also been notified that they need a wetland permit for the work that he wants to do, and they are in the process of filing that with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services. And so the Environmental Services is aware of the needs to do, and we have received from the on and architectures. These maps, this purple area is the area that is subject to crossing the wetlands and being in the wetlands, which, the DES is going to take a look at. So I don't know that we need to intervene. If you feel as though, here, I got one for you, Doug.
Okay,
This shows the same thing.
what's the address?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
The address is, wait a minute. You can show the lot.
So this is.
It's lot 40, I mean, map 47,
Yep.
lot number 1.
Lot number one.
Okay, where's Holly Farm?
Well, this property we're talking about is on lot 40, is map 47, lot 1.
Uh-huh,
It's on Lock Haven.
right, it's that.
Holly Drive is on the other side, and that's another situation on Champaign, who wants to build a 4-bedroom house on
Right. 1 point,
1.2.
acres.
Is the one in question, the one between the outlet of the lake and Holly
No.
Drive?
No, the one in question is right here. It opens into lake, it's not too far from the outlet, but it's this whole piece of property
Yeah.
right here. The other one is
Right.
right there.
Okay, so it's on that
I
side of the
get turned
outlet. Okay, I
around.
was thinking of this one. Okay, all right. And they want to do what with it?
They're trying to put a dock,
Okay,
and they need a path to get down to the dock. And
Okay.
that path, unfortunately for them, at least goes through some area that is wetland.
okay,
So they've not only had to file a dredge and fill permit, but a wetland permit to operate in that particular area.
okay, thank you.
And that's what we've got here.
Have you seen some plans for it yet?
These are the plans. that
These
I-
are the plans right there.
Well, at least this is all I had. They put them in the box and that's all I've got. No particular other plans. Oh, here's some more over here. Those are pictures.
Okay, so that's, yeah.
This is the United States Department of Interior's reply,
Oh, really?
Fish and Wildlife Service.
Good for them.
This is the other delineation of that thing of these larger maps.
So that yellow would be the mark of what we're looking at over there.
Correct.
Okay,
So you may all look at this if you wish. This is more pictures.
I think that's good visualization.
I haven't had a chance to do this because I got this yesterday.
Yep.
My point is that it looks to me like the DES and the wetland people are handling this well, and
Okay.
we don't, unless you feel, we don't need to get our
No,
No,
2 cents worth. in.
let's
No.
let the
Yeah.
authorities do their job.
Okay. All right, the next item of business. On my. Yeah,
oh, what?
Good shot.
Oh,
you got
Fly killer.
Oh, you seeing on my drink?
oh, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Back.
it. Okay, the next item of business is,
13:35.
I'm trying to think, this is another. Oh, no, this is all part of. This is all part of, Greg and stuff. The next item of business really is the, consent to cut.
It looks like I have on the agenda a map 44 lot 28. Wrong lot. Is that, it's a shoreland impact.
That's right across from. Isn't it? Yeah, that's one of them is the 1.23 acres. Is that the
That's-
1.23 acre?
It's confusing because they're so close together.
Well, I've been in touch with the people at the DES regarding that Champlain piece of property.
Is that's the lot 28, right?
That's,
The Champagne's,
It's lot, 41
yeah,
that's lot 41? Okay,
on map 47.
okay.
Yeah.
They're all, yeah, okay. That's the
It's-
Champagne's.
Problem there, we already mentioned this, and I sent a letter to them about this, is the septic system, because unfortunately,
Yeah, I've seen your letters, Jay. They're good.
that, that property was subdivided before
Yeah,
the, zoning ordinance came into being. So there is no restrictions on him building a house on 1.27 or whatever acreage he has.
1.23.
1.23. So what we pointed out was that on an acreage that small, building a 4-bedroom house with an additional house of 1 bedroom may pose a problem with leach field seepage because there's not that much land and some of it is wet. So that's what I've brought to the attention of Rosemary Horace, who is the person in the DES that is looking into this particular application.
Yep.
That's basically all we can do because he's grandfathered as far as building anything on that property is
Okay.
concerned.
Sounds good.
So it's out of our bailiwick.
It is no longer right. Anything there is
DES only.
ETS. They're gonna be the final arbiter.
Hmm.
Okay, so the next item is the intent to cut on map 13, lot 35. This is on Potato Road. And person that owns this property apparently owns a great deal of property on Potato Road. And according to some of the people that I've talked to, he does basically anything he wants without getting permits for anything. This is something that we don't have any jurisdiction over either. The state controls the amount of logging that can be done. He's got a lot of 172 acres and he plans to cut 60 of it, which is within the limits of the old town's regulations. They were required, I think, less than 50% of the property to be harvested at one time. But again, this is not something that we can.
Right.
Town is only interested, according to Mrs. Huntley, Julie Huntley, in recording the amount of board feet that's going to be harvested for tax purposes. They don't look at anything else. The value of cutting timber is that it allows other kinds of habitat to come up, which increases the diversity of wildlife that can be potentially there. Because the shrubbery is good for rabbits, small wildlife, as well as browsers.
For deer.
And
Meadow birds.
that's better. So, in and of itself, harvesting is not a real problem. As long as it's done reasonably well and the slash and the rest of the stuff is cleaned up. The difficulty, of course, is he harvesting this with the idea of subdividing?
Yeah.
And that kind of comment is gonna only come later. You're gonna make that notice here. So all we need to do is to watch and see if something comes through for a subdivision there.
Yep.
Okay, so the next item of business is correspondence that we received, one from John Savutka, who is very concerned about new invasive species called Phragmites australis. This is a reed
Yep.
that is taking over marshland. And if you want to see it, go down to the road behind Walmart and the field to the right.
Yeah.
Is completely,
Is that?
Oh, I see it
what
around
that
a lot of
is?
places. It's around. I see it everywhere.
this guy, John Serbutka, lives in Massachusetts and has lost a lot of his marsh lands as a result of that. But he's also found it on Bog Road in a pond that a guy has there along Bog Road.
I got
So,
it in my yard.
huh?
I have it in my yard, Phragmites. I think it's the same one.
Well, anyway,
I'll have
I
to
don't know
look it
that
up.
the town is even aware of it. I know they're hot for getting rid of the Japanese knotweed, but I haven't heard them mention this at all. So I had a lady from New Hampshire Lakes call me today. And I gave her this guy's number and his name because she hadn't heard of this weed either. And she said she was gonna call him. He has been canvassing the area, looking for support in developing a control program.
Yeah.
But just like the
Probably.
knotweed,
Yeah.
this stuff is not easy to get rid of. The only thing he told me was it has to be cut and then it has to be covered with black plastic, nailed down and left there for 2 years. So if you can imagine them trying to do that with the mass that's behind Walmart.
That's a big chunk of land out there.
Yeah.
And I thought those were cattails or something. And I said, oh, those are intentionally planted for, but it's not.
No.
Hmm.
Or did Walmart plant it there?
They're pretty much everywhere. I see them around a lot. Pretty common.
So,
Battle.
I think like Japanese knotweed, it isn't going to be eradicated anytime soon.
No, it's not all that, Brad. No.
Problem, of course, is that it will increase the disappearance of marshes, because once that stuff gets in there, so this guy tells me, it dries up the marsh
Oh, no,
tighter than a bone,
Because it absorbs the
Yeah.
water.
takes all the water.
no.
So that's that. The other correspondence I've got is from Barbara Jones. Barbara Jones is interested in what's happening to that Johnson Road.
Yeah, the town owns that. Yeah.
Town's owns it.
That's a point of discussion right now in the town, what how they wanna develop it. Yeah, it's a nice piece of property.
I went down there and.
It's
they
right
wanted
from
to-
Route 4.
Okay.
It's right on the Lebanon, Enfield line, right along the rail trail. It's Lake Mascoma property.
Okay.
Right on the, yeah, it's a nice piece of property. It's grassy, there's like 3 little cabins there, and the town has always owned it, and they had a right, people that lived there, they gave them the right to occupancy until they passed away, so I think 2 of them have passed away, or something like that, and they own, so the properties are now up for discussion.
Right at the town. Oh, I know where you're
Yeah, it's
speaking.
right on the lake.
It's across from the trailer park.
Yeah. Trailer
Oh,
park
oh,
and baseball.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, thank you.
I'm under the impression that there are a lot of right of ways that have been granted.
Well, Johnson is kind of a small road, and I think people are concerned about traffic.
I delivered meals down
Yeah,
there.
and it crosses the rail trail, which gets a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and it's very, very, very narrow. I mean,
Yeah.
you not room for 2 cars.
No,
And there are homes that the town doesn't own that sits
Right.
near that.
they're in Lebanon.
And,
One of them is cut through by the separation of Enfield and Lebanon. I
Yeah.
went down there, the road itself
Oh, I go down there all the time.
basically severely eroded in
Mm.
parts.
Yep.
But as far as the Conservation Commission is concerned, I could see nothing that was relevant to our.
No,
inter-
Not at this time.
Until we see what
The
town
town,
manager puts in the way
Right.
of a report. If he
Right.
wants to make a sandy beach there,
right,
that could be something that
Yeah.
the DES would have to look at.
right.
But as far as developing.
Yeah, it's
or
really not up
use as
to
a
us.
beach,
No,
it's
I
not
agree.
anything that we have anything to say about.
The big issue is just car access, and that's not up to us. You know, there's concerns
Oh, yeah.
about too much traffic,
Yeah.
parking and all that stuff down there. A lot of people want to just say, hey, leave it alone, let people access it via the rail trail, you know?
Well,
Is
that's
there
right.
even any place for a car to park when you cross the
No,
rail
you-
trail?
Yeah.
Well, what he's going to do is the house on the right-hand side has been abandoned.
It's a sort of a mobile home?
It's an
It didn't look
A-frame.
like a mobile home to me, but it might be.
Oh, okay,
The one
I'm
on the
thinking of it also.
right-hand side is a A-frame.
Yeah.
Okay,
He wants to tear down, so I understand, the White House. Maybe it's a mobile home, and put a parking lot in there for 50 cars.
50,
oh my God,
50?
That's what I'm told.
are they gonna pave it? I
Of course,
wonder.
They have, well, he's saying it's gonna be gravel.
50,
I
that's
don't-
crazy.
I don't know.
I know,
Anyway,
we'll see what comes.
Again, this is.
I gotta take a ride on the rail trail this weekend, see for myself.
Is
Yeah.
this the one that like the road crosses the rail?
Yeah.
trail?
Yeah.
There's more?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
have a
But
friend.
I
Pretty
know the
piece of
chickens.
It's a
Yeah.
little jetty, it's a little piece of land that sticks out into the lake, it's
Okay.
shallow, water, it's
Yeah.
a grassy area, there's a couple picnic tables there, it's really,
Beautiful
Is
spot.
that the one at the ledge?
no,
The White House at the ledge?
no, the ledge, no,
Because there's a White House there, I've seen.
that's not really a house, that's a
Well,
camp.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the ledge, no, that's where that kid drowned 2 years ago.
Right.
No, that's right across from my street, no, this is farther down right on the Lebanon line.
That's what I thought, okay.
In fact, some of the property on that little piece of land that sticks up is in Lebanon.
Yeah,
That stream is the border that comes out, it goes in, empties in there is the border. So most of it's in Enfield, but there's a small piece that's in Lebanon.
does anyone know where a place called Ice House, Road is?
That's it,
Sure
that's
do.
Ice House Road.
How-
Ice House Road comes up from the Mascoma store.
Comes down in and dead ends.
It's, yeah, it's before Johnson or after Johnson. You know where the Mascoma Village store is? It's a gas station.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, you know, if you come in towards Enfield, right after that, there's a little turn that you take a right, that's Ice House Road. It goes right down along and heads right towards that piece of property and it dead ends.
There's about 10 camps down on
There's
there.
about 10 houses down there, yep.
Okay, so that in her letter was a suggestion for the parking lot there and let people walk along.
Yeah, there is a parking lot, but that's in Lebanon. You know, a lot of people park there to utilize the rail trail. Yeah, there is a parking lot there.
Yeah, on the right as you come down
Yeah.
Ice House. on the
Ice House,
right.
yeah, there's a parking lot there. And there's usually, see, I go by there all the time. So there's usually like 4, 5, 6 cars there all the time. People just park there and they walk or bike the rail trail.
No, there's nothing. we
So. He will have to, the town here will have to get permission from the rail trail people who control that to put a road in.
It's gonna have to be a good discussion somewhere along the line, because I think people have a lot of different opinions.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, there's nothing that involves the environment of the.
Yeah, not at this point,
They
no.
have to make a warrant. They have to put a
Yeah.
warrant.
Oh,
I think
that-
we'd have to see what they propose and
He's
then,
asking for $50,000 to build the parking lot, to tear down those houses and apparently build a parking lot.
pay paradise and put them in parking.
Yeah, if the road crosses the rail trail, would that not be
Town manager.
grandfathered in?
Mr. Morris.
I don't know.
That's something to think
We
about,
haven't gotten. any
because it would be
plans.
grandfathered across the B and M property.
Yeah, that's B and M property. The rail trail is owned by the railroad. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, something to think about, but
Any other business?
Yes, I have a little tidbit. The, Kat Buxton, who's gonna speak, to represent the Conservation Commission, she's gonna be speaking at, Shaker Museum. They have a spot for her, the lady that that I asked.
This is
if I-
for Old Home Day.
That is correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, Old Home Day. So I've been in touch with her. She's taken a break from everything and she said, you won't be able to reach me for 2 weeks, but she left me with this thought. So anybody who knows about computers, maybe you know the answer to this. I do not. They have a projector. She needs a projector to do her slide presentation. She has a Mac computer. She said, I hope my cord fits the projector. Is that, does anybody know? I have no idea. I don't even have a computer, so
Are her slides on discs or are they 35 millimeters?
I do not know.
If I have a portable, a disc, projector.
That would fit in, I mean, I don't know.
If her pictures are on DVDs or something like that, I can just loan her that. for the
If they're on DVDs.
Yeah,
I think if it's a Mac, you need adapter cords.
Yeah, you have you have to have a special adapter
Does the
for
town
it.
have that?
Should I call the town office to
Yeah,
find
it
it?
would be
And what
worth-
am I asking him for?
So it's an adapter that will, they should know, I can't remember the name of the cable, but basically it's an adapter that will.
Okay,
It's a Mac.
HDMI to.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of the one that they'll use on the projector,
Yeah.
but it's a standard cable.
Convert
Okay.
a Mac to be able to be run on.
but I can also
regular
tell her
system.
Right,
if
like
it's
what
a
you would normally
DVD,
use on this,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
PC.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
can-
even have a computer, so I'm way out left.
you're lucky.
I can
I
look
have-
too at my house. My husband is a AV engineer and we have lots of
I
cables
love,
and
yeah, I
adapters,
just
so
have
I
this
can
little
look and
Kindle.
see
In
if I
fact,
have
when I
one.
do the addresses, I have like this size to.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I know it convert, you have to have some sort of adapter cable or.
That's what she, yeah, cause
That,
she said
that
I, hope-
allows it to hook up to, PC type equipment.
okay,
well, this thing I've got is projectors. And if it's on DVD, she can put them in there and stop it and start it if she wants to.
okay,
And all the cords and so on. The only thing we need is an extension cord to get to the
Yeah, she said,
People out.
and she laughed, she said, I need power, which of course they have. But this lady that's coming, we had a discussion as to what we will do for Old Home Days. And usually it's a hike. But I suggested this woman that I know, she's, comes out of the University of Vermont. She's a lady that is, a big, environmentalist, and she also teaches everything. She goes from school to school, helps them set up gardens. She teaches them about like a little piece of lawn, what it can do for the flow of water and what you should do and shouldn't do. And anyway, it's a wonderful, I've seen one of her presentations and I was like, so I suggested, so we voted to pay $250 to have her come. It's a 2-hour presentation.
Sounds good.
So I'd like to have a good, so I'm spreading the word as much as I can.
Unfortunately, the town newsletter for September went out. When is the Old Home Days?
September 25th. She's coming Sunday. But I thought maybe I'd try to get something on flyers. I don't know. I'm not very good at this, but
Do you have a night? What time is it?
it's from 2 to 4. And, I'm very pleased. The Shaker Museum said, come give it, because I couldn't find a place. Everything was taken. And so they had a room.
Write down the time, the place, the date, and send it to me by email. I'll
Okay.
see if we can get it out on the website somehow.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, because she's very, and she's she travels all over the world talking about this.
No, we should promote it, that's for sure.
Oh,
I've been trying to get a counter on the Conservation Commission's website, and I'm being told by Elisa that it can't be done.
what does
I don't
that
have
mean?
any-
What's a counter?
So tells how many times people hit and look at a
Oh, okay.
Conservation Commission's website.
Okay.
So, I don't know whether putting it on the website or fine, we're too late for the town
I
newsletter.
didn't even think.
What
But-
about the, listserv?
Yeah,
All
The
right,
listserv is always, yeah, that's a good place.
I've been trying to get something on the listserv and I haven't, it just keeps, I just keep getting Dartmouth, whatever, and then it went out to some
Well,
big
you-
university and,
Yeah, they manage it, so you gotta go into them and sign up. Once you sign up, they'll send you the rules and regulations.
I did sign up once, a long time ago, but anyway, that's not your problem.
Yeah,
So,
are you on the listserv?
I am.
you so much.
If I send you the information that Leah's gonna send me, can you put it on the listserv for us?
Yeah.
bless your heart,
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you.
Okay, and you got your payment for, August, right?
Yeah, it's basement, yeah.
Because there's a new, regulation. I have to actually write a letter to, Mary Ann Crandall,
Mm-hmm.
authorizing her to pay the bill and
Okay.
sign it with my
Okay.
name.
Oh, gosh.
I used to be able to just call it in.
Yeah, now you have to sign off.
Everything's
I
gotta be,
think what happened is that the $4,000 that the auditors found misappropriated from us last year was something that had triggered this necessity for, nitpicking as far as what goes in and what goes out. They did give it to us, and that went into the trust fund. The other thing I'm doing, with Mary Ann is getting whatever is left over in our budget put into the trust fund. Now, that's something else. The budget for next year has got to be into Elisa before the end of this month.
what?
So what I would like you to do is to look over, you have copies of the budgets from the past. Look over those copies, see if there's any place that you feel the amount appropriation should be changed, either increased or decreased. And let me know so that I can put together the final recommendations for the Conservation Commission. You don't have one, unfortunately, but I will see that you get one.
Okay.
So that we can at least get an increase if we feel we need it. A lot of time, last year, we had 35% of the budget left over, which went into the general fund. So this year, I'm going to try and get whatever is left over to go into the trust.
So is this something that could go on a warrant for the town to vote on, or is
No, it
a
doesn't
minute?
have to. All I have to do apparently is request that it be sent in there.
And I also just wanted to, ask, like these warrants, especially about the buffer for the wetlands, we want to get a warrant on,
Yes.
yes,
Those warrants, I think, have to be in from the public by November.
okay?
So in October, I'm going to assign
Mm-hmm,
to each member warrant article that we want written, to have them put it together in a rough draft. Now, how you put a warrant article together is listed in that New Hampshire.
Yes, it is.
Conservation Commission.
yes, it is,
So you
yeah.
know how to write them,
Mm-hmm.
but we need one for,
An increased buffer.
that's right. We
We
want a
want- For
250-foot
Absolutely.
buffer from wetlands. That's for sure.
150?
200.
250,
You might as well go for broke. because
absolutely.
There's scientific evidence to show that 100-foot setback still only removes 70% of the pollution that may be in the soil.
Mhm.
So if we ask for 250, because what we need to do is to protect prime wetlands that were established by the town in 1997.
Right.
There are 5 of them, and I think this warrant article should specify prime wetlands,
Yeah.
250-foot setback.
Yep.
That to me is the major one that is relevant to conservation that we need to put forward.
Mhm.
I'm gonna work with some other people to get other warrant articles put together, but they're not relevant to conservation.
No.
Okay, yeah,
This is
that's,
definitely relevant, yeah.
And if you can think of any others that may be useful, that have a good chance of passing, and you have to write a sufficient amount of justification for it that we can publish.
mhm.
So that the people, because they only give you a certain number of lines in the ballot. Okay, if that's all there is, and, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting?
Second.
Does Kurt have anything to bring up or?
Oh, that's right, sorry. Kurt, after you read that, do you have any comment?
Good.
So what you read was something you agreed with, or at least you didn't have any comment, any reason.
What did he read?
I mean, it's DES, they're the ones that have final say on that. So
Yeah, that's right. That's what we felt. Okay, moved and seconded for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. My God, you're getting away 15 minutes early.
I haven't eaten yet, I'm starving, I
Yeah,
gotta
I
eat
ate.
dinner at home.
Ever since our meeting, you never know if it's gonna be a 2-hour meeting or not, so I
Right.
make sure I eat before the meeting.
Yeah. The building thing is tapering off now, so I'm getting less
Yeah,
dredge and fill, shoreland protection things, so on.
that's a winter time.
Yeah, I think we will see less of this. And of course, the monetary situation, the increase in interest rates on mortgage and so on, really putting a kibosh on development. Which is good for us, I think. Okay.